Okay, I hope we're live again. Let's see what we got. All right, so are we in the right place? Is this what it's looking like? All right, good to see you guys. So today we are going to be switching some parts over from one computer to the other, and I figured I'd go live because I was asked to go live again by a bunch of people after my 1,000 sub giveaway. So here's what we got. Let me grab the computer real quick. This is the computer, the original one, rather. It is an ITX build with a Ryzen 7 3700X and a RTX 2070 Super. We picked it up for pretty cheap. I think we got it for like $400, and we're going to swap it over to a nicer case that I have sitting off camera, which I will also go grab. Sorry, I didn't really prepare much for this stream, but it's just kind of how it is. We definitely did not just drop a 1050 Ti. We're totally fine now. So, this is the case which we will be swapping over to. And it should make for a pretty good looking computer. So I guess we're going to start disassembling this one. And if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down in the chat. I'm watching it live on my laptop, which is hiding right here. I guess you guys can see it pretty well. And I'll be answering those as we do this. So, yeah. I put my screwdriver. There it is. So, I've already taken this apart a little bit, so you can kind of see. These cube cases are cool, but they are annoying to disassemble because of how freaking small they are. Everything's pretty compact. So I'm going to start with trying to freaking Ethernet cable. Sorry about that. I was kind of tugging on my chair. So I'm probably won't be changing the cooler, but we can see what we can do. We have a pretty it's the AMD Wraith stock cooler. I like it. I think the RGB is cool on it. I do actually have a Wraith shroud that's painted white, so I might swap that over, but I'll keep the stock like base cooler. So this is probably not exactly how you were supposed to take this thing apart. However, bloody. Sometimes in life you just gotta make do. So we're gonna try and go in. There we go. PCIe slot is loose. And out comes the 2070. So 2070 Super. It's a pretty good looking card, to be honest. I wish it were white. We might spray paint it, we'll see. Probably not on stream though. There we go. Our SSD's cooler. Usually you don't have these on most motherboards, but this one did. And there was a SSD in it when I pulled the PC apart for the first time. It was a 1 terabyte Samsung NVMe drive. So, and yeah, sorry you were on the wrong stream. I'm still kind of new to the streaming thing, Mr. Blue Boy, or Best Blue 2, whatever. Sorry. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure this out, and I've only got 2 devices to run it with right now. I got my laptop and my phone, so you guys are streaming on my phone, and yeah. So let's pull this the rest of the way apart. We're gonna disconnect all the cables and stuff. There's a freaking zip tie holding cables in. So I'm gonna grab a knife or some scissors. See what I can't find in like the 2 minutes. Yeah, I'll take you guys with me. Why not? Oh, the shame of my life. This is so freaking messy, but you guys get to enjoy it. Get our scissors off. All right, back to the build table. I'll move this a little bit so that the light isn't in the way. You guys can still see okay. And, oh, one more thing. Let's try and get some ambient light going here. We have the remote. There you go. Some more color, I guess, to the stream. Oh, and my laptop's about to die. Dang. Okay. Give me a second. Let me also find a laptop charger. All right, back to tearing this thing apart. Let's check the chat. Can you help me to understand the power connector of motherboard and GPU? So yeah, when I pull the power supply the rest of the way out, I will kind of explain how everything works and goes together. But for now, let's just keep pulling stuff apart. We've got our RAM sticks. Yep, two 8 gig sticks of Ripjaws DDR4 running at 3200 megatransfers per second. Pretty solid RAM setup for this 3700X in here. Oh yeah. Oh, where did I put my freaking scissors? Oh, there they are. Object permanence is wild, guys. ADHD is fun. So we're cutting a zip tie. There we go. It's off. I'll bring you guys closer so you guys can see more of what's going on with the computer itself. We'll see how this is. There you go. So now you can kind of actually see what's happening with it. So that's loose. So our power switches. Oh, these are, look at that. These are kind of braided. It's kind of nice. Interesting. I haven't seen that before. I haven't taken apart a bunch of Corsair stuff, so I know exactly what to expect here. Get the CPU power cable out. All right, so all of the cables are disconnected. Let's pull everything else out now. I guess start with the motherboard. Yeah, that Noctua fan is massive. I'll pull that out in a second. I think it's a 240 mil though. That thing is like ginormous. I thought it was so funny when I pulled it apart for the first time and saw that. And yes, Blind Tech, I did turn the PC on before tinkering with it. I tested actually a 1050 Ti for an upcoming video in this rig. And I will be doing some more testing with the same internals, just changing the case out so that I can list it and hopefully get it sold pretty soon here. Just believe it or not, your favorite PC flipping YouTuber is kind of broke, which is, you know, why I got into PC flipping in the first place, because it's a great way to make money and it's fun. There we go. The motherboard's loose. Oh, Wi-Fi connectors. Don't forget about those. There we go. The motherboard is out. Oh, look at that. It's a solid back plate on it. That's not something I really expected. I haven't taken apart a bunch of ITX builds, so I don't know. I haven't really messed with ITX motherboards before, so let me grab a box to set this on. So we're setting the motherboard just kind of on a box in the back so we don't damage anything. Now let's pull this power supply out. Oh, interesting. That fan is hilariously big. Let's see if this... How much time do you use to take a computer apart? It depends on the build. So, like with this one, for example, I haven't fully torn this one apart before. I've only kind of looked inside and like replaced the SSD with my work one. So with ones like this, where I don't exactly know what it's like, I will take about, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to pull it apart tops. But otherwise I can probably do it in 15 or 20. That was almost bad, but we caught it, so we're good. And power supply is out. It's a Corsair RM750X. It's a solid power supply, fully modular. Although with the build we didn't get any cables, so yeah, that's kind of how it is. Best Blue, don't worry about sending money right now. It's alright. I'm streaming for fun. You don't need to send super chats. We're just going to pull the back plate off here. Or the plate, I guess, off. Mounting plate, I don't know. One thing you guys should know about me is that pretty much with every aspect of life, I don't know any of the proper terminology. So like while working on cars, like I do because I have a beater that I'm trying to fix up that had a blown head gasket, I don't know any of the proper terminology, but I do know how to rip stuff apart and put it back together, so it's alright. Anyway, Basil, how do you pronounce that? Basil Kuriakos, is that pronouncing right? You also asked how long does it take me to build a computer from scratch. If I have to unbox everything, like 45 minutes to an hour. And if I'm just building it and parts are already used, then it's pretty easy to do. It'll take me 25-30 minutes. And all the power supply cables we need to complete a build come with PSU. Yeah, so it usually should. If your power supply is used, it might not. If it's new, it will, but if it's used, it won't. So this one, for example, came without our SATA power cable, which I was trying to use to power a physical hard drive. But I have a bunch of extra power supply cables, and it's kind of dangerous to mix those, so don't do that unless you know that it's the right one, or unless you're okay throwing away a power supply. It can be dangerous, so there is that. But yeah, so this build is mostly torn apart now. I don't think there's anything else that I need to salvage from this other than this Wi-Fi antenna, so we'll set that over here. Get this case out of the way. Blind Tech got a $35 power supply used on eBay, 600 watts. That's pretty solid. That's a pretty good deal. Usually on Amazon, those will go for what, 50, 60 bucks. Definitely not bad. All right, so here's our new case. I picked it up for 50 bucks used, and it came with a bunch of fans and stuff that are kind of just hanging out inside of it. So time to pull this apart and see what all we can do with it. I'm trying to figure out where the power supply is supposed to mount. I think it's up there. It's hard to tell. This is a weird case. I haven't looked at this one before. Yeah, go ahead, Basil. Go and share your specs. I'll look over them real quick and we'll see what we think. Yeah, I think you're right. Best Blue. I think it is up top. I think I found it. There's this. I don't know if you guys can see. I'll raise my camera up a little bit higher because this case is a little bit taller. But this does look like power supply mounting holes. It's about the same size, so I think that's where it should be. And Andres, yeah, I'm not going to use that huge Noctua fan. For one, Noctua is great. I don't love the way they look. And so if I were going to... Oh, that's even worse. If I were to do a color-coordinated build, I would consider using it, but I'm not, so I'm not going to. Mox wants to save up for a GT 1030. Mox, depending on where you live, I would avoid going for a 1030. They are okay cards. They're definitely not bad. I did a video testing them a couple of months ago now, I think. And it did okay. Like, it performed at 1080p, and it was fine, but I wouldn't suggest... Sorry, there's a lot of stuff here. I wouldn't suggest just using a 1030 unless you can afford something else. I would actually, you said you only have a 200 watt power supply. I would actually go for a 1050 or a 1650, 1050 Ti or 1650, because some of them don't need external power, and they're not particularly power thirsty cards, and they'll perform a lot better. So I think they consume 65 watts, which is definitely not big. So Best Blue thinks that it should be, yeah, the power supply is going to mount like here. I'm like relatively sure. This is a plate for SSDs. Let me back the camera off. You guys can't see jack squat. See how that goes. See, I can't see what my camera's seeing because the stream is delayed by quite a bit, so it's kind of rough. There you go. Okay, that's much better. Still needs to be down a little bit. All right, Basil's specs, 7700X plus a 7900 XT, the GRE, or XT or GRE, sorry, brain. B650, 32 gigs, G-Skill Flare, Peerless Assassin 120, WD850X, Corsair 850E, solid build. I would consider, if you have it in your room, for the budget to upgrade to 64 gigs RAM. Not necessary, but if you have the budget, might as well. It'll be a lot more future-proof. So yeah, entirely your call though. It's a solid looking build as of right now. Blind Tech's looking for a GPU locally, so you can get this build done this weekend. The 1654 gig is also a PCIe powered card. Budget reboots, not always. Yeah. So most of the time, yes, not always though. I know that the PCIe lanes can deliver up to 65 watts of power. I think there's some that'll use a little bit more. They're like OC cards. Not 100% sure though, so you're probably right. Turn down stream delay. How do I turn down the stream delay? I haven't ever done this. That's all right. We'll do that next time we do this. Okay. So we're gonna mount our power supply now, I guess. Big fat 850 watt, or sorry, 750 watt. Our power supply. Cables behind it. Screws over here. Get one in the hole. Yeah, the 1060 is a solid card. See deep. Yeah, the AK620 is one of my favorite coolers, and I'm kind of sad that Deep Cool decided to go and mess with Russia, because it would be nice if I could still buy their stuff, but you know how it goes. It's rough. All right, our third PSU screw mounted. And screw number 4. How do I don't know, I can't figure out how to turn stream delay off, but that's whatever. In Blind Tech, yeah, I also wonder that. It's hard to tell exactly how things are going to go. So there's no real way to know, I guess, which does kind of suck, but it's okay. This is going to come up here. So this is our power cable. I know we're crunching all the other PSU cables, but it's whatever. This will come in. Come on, right here. Push it down. All right. Sweet. Let's get this motherboard installed. Ah, I'm freaking stupid. I had that sideways. I was wondering why that wasn't fitting. There we go. Wonder if the US can ban them anymore. Basel probably not as of. Yeah, no, you're right. These holes do give Mac Pro vibes. And you know, I think that's kind of funny, but I'm sure some people would rather anything other than that. So I don't know. People are stingy with Mac stuff. You either love them or hate them. I feel like there's not much of a middle ground, generally. But no, that's all right. Do your live stream details on the stream manager dashboard? Okay, cool. I'll do that next time I stream. I feeling lazy right now. Thank you, Budget Reboots. I appreciate all of the help. Can you guys keep a secret? Budget Rebuilds and I are planning a cool collab, so make sure to look forward to that. There's going to be some stuff you probably won't expect on there, but you know, it's going to be pretty fun. How do you guys activate Windows? Should be a banger. Windows should be pretty easy to activate. You just go into settings, search up activation, and then if you have a code in there, or if you have a code paid for. Oh, you're good, Basil. Don't worry about asking questions. I asked you guys to ask questions at the top of the stream, so I appreciate you guys wanting to know stuff. So, freaking activate Windows. Yeah. So search up activate or activation settings in your settings thing. Oh, if Windows is expensive, there's a bunch of online places you can get Windows keys for relatively cheap. I can give you guys a link in a few minutes, but I'm sure that somebody in the chat can help. Brenner, welcome. I appreciate you joining. It's always good to have more people here. The more the merrier. All right, so let's get the power cables all hooked up. So Basil had a couple questions. So how does the power supply cables hook up? So I'm going to be cable managing this kind of while I go. But for now, this 24-pin cable is your motherboard power cable, and it's going to end up plugging in right here on this big one. But because we're cable managing, I'm actually going to bring it around back. That way it's kind of out of the way, and then reroute it up and through here. Oh, come on. There we go. So that should kind of be out of the way. For our CPU cable, it's going to look like this, but it is going to split into two. Why isn't this one letting me? Some of them won't, because there we go. So it'll split into two, and I want you to make sure that you don't confuse this with your PCIe or graphics card power cables, because they will split into 3 and 1. So be careful with those. They're very different. This 4 and 4 is your CPU power cables. So what we're going to do is we're going to send this back kind of the same way as the 24-pin motherboard power cable went. Just kind of bring it back to the hole. I'm going to route this up through here. Now this 8-pin CPU cable is the second worst cable to install on PCs, or set of cables rather, and it's because it's so tight sometimes you can't quite get your fingers in there, and I don't know, it's rough, but it looks like you got it. There it goes. And just kind of pull that tight so there's not slack. Oh, now you're cooking. All right. For our PCIe cables, we'll wait on those. We are going to get those in a second. Let's get our Molex and SATA routed back here as well, because we're not going to need those right away. Let's grab, there we go. Okay, and the SATA, you do need, but it's got to go all the way back here. Alright, so now we're going to work on our extra stuff. So, for example, this is our USB 3.0 cable. Trying to get it untangled, give me a second. All right, so this is our USB 3.0. We're going to kind of route it in the back as well. Through here, and then kind of around, and it's going to plug into this slot right here on your motherboard. There will usually be this USB 3.0 connector on one of two spots on your motherboard. It'll usually be on this side or on the bottom. With this one being small, it's on this side. Usually your SATA ports that are right here are going to be below it, but in this case, again, it's a unique computer because it's a lot smaller. So, yeah, I'm going to bring our PCIe cables around back as well. Now, I do have a few goodies that I'm going to be throwing at this PC just to upgrade it, because there's some stuff I can do. Come on. For one, I'm going to be giving it a RGB controller, because it came with some RGB fans, but I don't have a controller for any of them. So we'll be doing stuff like that, just because anything we can add to it is good, right? This is our HD audio cable. Oh, where is this on this motherboard? There we go. Okay. So the HD audio connector on this motherboard is pretty low. Kind of looks like it's, yep, right here. Stupid white thing. I know you guys can't quite see all the details, and I wish you guys could. I should get some of those Meta Ray-Ban glasses that can record and see if I can't go live with those. That'd be funny. Alright, and this is... what is this? Is this for RGB? Oh, yeah, this is USB, so this is going to plug in... there we go. Go down here. Definitely not the prettiest, but I think we can tuck this kind of up and behind the RAM slots. Speaking of which, let's get these installed. Any stories of misfortunes during PC flipping? Let me think about that. I've had really good luck, guys. I mean, nothing has gone catastrophically wrong. I've had people bring stuff back with RAM slots that died on motherboards, because I offer a warranty, like a 3 or 6 month warranty, depending on the build and how new the parts are. And he had like a Ryzen 5 2600X and a RX 580, and 2 of his 4 motherboards RAM slots died, so I replaced that, and that was pretty easy, pretty quick. And he was happy with it after the fact. So, the only story I have that involves PC flipping is just like a really killer freaking deal that I got, and that was on a 3090 that I paid $300 for. It was a card that was used for mining, and I had a Ryzen 5 5600X. It was ready for it, and I threw it all together. Oh gosh, freaking loud trucks. I threw it all together in a white fish tank build, and I sold it for like $1,500 the next day, and that was wild. And so that was a really good quick sale. All right, this only has a power button, so you guys may not love this. This PC does not have a reset button, so I'm only actually going to plug our power button cable in. So yeah, you guys may not like that, but that's kind of just how I do stuff. Nobody really cares about the HDD lights anyway. And same deal with the reset button. If you don't have one, it doesn't need to be plugged in. So, all right, now to find some white cable extensions for our 2070. Actually, let's just get this installed real quick, and it'll fit nicely in our case. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Let's get this all screwed in. Oh, bloody. There's this freaking... I don't know what this is called. Whatever this is, a bracket of some sort. And they get in the way, and I don't like them, so... Oh, actually, before... no, never mind. We'll just leave this how it is. This screwed in. That's oh, come on. Give me a second. Let me get this all, there we go. Now we can screw this in. All right, so that's looking solid. How does micro ATX case with an ITX motherboard look like when everything's installed? This is actually a micro ATX case. So this motherboard is ITX, but there's also, I don't know if you could see earlier, but there are mounting posts kind of down here for a micro ATX motherboard, and this could fit. This could fit an METX motherboard. So I think it actually looks okay. It doesn't look too crowded, and yeah, the PSU does actually mount up here. So, all right, let me go find our cable extensions. Pretty nearby. Got one. Bucket of cable extensions, but here we are. All right. Problem solved. Cool. All right, cable extensions acquired. Now, they don't 100% match, but that is okay with me. They don't need to be perfect 10 out of 10 matches. This one's white and black, and this one is just white. So, and then, why did I grab two white ones? Hit that out of here. There are cable combs off of here. We'll replace them with some full white ones. These ones are just clear. So, Blind Tech over there dailying a 2060. That's a solid GPU. There we go. Alright, now that all of those are off, we're going to be just replacing them with some solid white ones. So, no, these don't have any freaking. Oh, that's stupid. These don't have any 3x3 white ones. So I gotta see if I have any of those lying around somewhere. Give me just a moment. Oh, here they are. Give me a moment, Chad. I'll be right there. Sorry for abandoning you. I can't see what you're typing, but I feel bad for not being right there. Ooh, changing plans. Double changing plans? Double changing plans. Okay. Screw these cable extensions. We have found a set of white matching ones, and we found a bunch of clear cable extensions. Sorry, a bunch of black cable combs. Geez, I can't talk today. So we got 3 of our little ones. No, are you kidding me? Only got one of our 4x4s. Okay, back to looking for cable combs. I'll be back again and going on another dangerous quest through the messy office. Where are you guys hiding? was only mildly embarrassing. Give me a brief moment, I'm still working on stuff. Aha! Found what we need. They were hiding on another cable extension. There's that. There's that. And come on. There's that. Okay. Now back to actually building stuff. Oh no. Okay, we're back, sorry. Alright, so make sure these are oriented the right way, because pulling cable comes off and on is a pain in the neck. Stick this on here. Alright. Give me 2. Comb number 3. Right, then send this back. Bring it to the Casual Tech Review, welcome. I appreciate you joining on. We're just kind of throwing together a build. I was asked to do more streams after my 1,000 sub special, and so here we are, doing a stream. What mic do I use, or does somebody else use? I use a Rode Lav 2, and it does the job. It can get pretty loud sometimes, but I'm going to be quiet with it right now. Hope you guys enjoyed that ASMR. I will not be doing it again. Exclusive content found only here. Andre, we just got to get a couple other people in here. We got to get, I don't know, maybe some ZTT. Maybe some, I don't know either. Freaking, what's his name? There's the other one who was in kind of hot water somewhat recently for doing a course. You know the one I'm talking about. The one who's trying to buy a house. I'm terrible at names, so I'm sorry. I'm sure somebody will pop him in chat. Elijah, yeah, that one. Elijah's Lab. Sorry. Alright, so cable extensions are in there. Let's get some, let's get some fans in here now. Haha. So I've got 3 of these NDXT fans. These ones are not RGB, and I can just use these. Alternatively, I also got a few of these MSI fans that are RGB, and if I choose to use these, then we can have some cool lights. But if I choose to not, then I guess we don't get cool lights. Because our CPU cooler is RGB, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick these 2 on top, just so we can have some RGB. And we'll stick all our white fans, we'll stick a white fan, I guess, back here, and call it good. So, these fans installed. Let me go find some fan screws. Yep, going on another adventure without you guys. 1 fan screw, 2 fan screws, 3 fan screws, 4 fan screws, 5, 6, 7, 8, up, back down to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, should have all the fan screws I need. So, we are going to set our, geez, my laptop keeps getting unplugged. It's gonna die if it's not plugged in. So we're gonna set these up top and set them as exhaust fans because the front of our case is solid and has no intake option. So that's fun. Let's get the cable poked through first. There goes our RGB, and there goes our phone cable. Alright, we will bring this up here. Sweet. Also just realized that because this case doesn't have a reset button, we can't use it as the RGB button. So, no RGB controller for this case, but that is what it is. Appreciate everybody for joining. You guys are pretty cool. Yeah, how are you guys all doing? Who all is flipping PCs? Who's done other stuff? Who hasn't? Who wants to build a PC? Who's looking for stuff? Who's? Just give me the what's up. Just gonna keep on showing fans and stuff. Best Blues flipping parts, but no full PCs yet, or no sales yet. Blind Tech, you totally should. Let me know when you do it, and I'll hop on and join in the chat. Just hang out for a few. Get our fan cables back here. Guys, this PC is starting to look okay. Looking forward to trying to boot it up. Wish I could have some music on in the background here, but I don't know all about the copyright stuff. It should be okay when streaming, but I'm not 100% sure. So we're not going to bother with it for now. Maybe next time. Somebody give me a question or something. I'm running out of stuff to talk about. Give me something interesting to talk about. Any suggestion that does not involve politics, I will be interested in answering. What case is this? I have literally no idea. It's MZXT, I know that much. I picked it up for 50 bucks with some fans on Facebook Marketplace, and that's about all I know about it. Sorry about that. What do I think about politics? I think politics are something, and I'm glad we have a political system that isn't a tyranny. That is the extent of what I will say regarding politics. Yeah, so sorry, Best Blue, I didn't see that chat. So this PC was in a different case. I will be selling it. I'm trying to flip it. I paid $450, including this case. I can sell the other case, though, and hopefully get a couple bucks off it. Probably try and list it for $400 to $500. Well, probably actually more than that. Probably like $650, and then start lowering it down. And the lowest I'll be able to go on it's like $550-ish. Kind of see where that takes us. Oh, yeah. Do you guys think I should do more streams like this, or is this kind of boring and should be left as a one-time thing? Oh no, the fan freaking came out. All right. I'm just gonna rotate this. If you want music, look up Stream Beats. Lo-fi Snoopy is made for streamers and is free use. Yeah, okay, sweet. I'll take a look at that. That sounds like it could be a fun thing to do. Yeah, alright, sweet. I'll do that next time I'm streaming. I'd have to set it up and figure it all out, but, you know how it goes. Now that our fan is screwed in. Best blue, touch my ears. I don't know if I can. Guys, when you started flipping, what item did you sell the most of? So I actually didn't start with flipping parts. I got a cheap Optiplex from a local like thrift shop type thing. And I sold that, and then I bought 6 more of them, and then I sold 6 more of them. In fact, I think I have a picture somewhere, or a video somewhere with all 6 of them just kind of in my closet hanging out. I got a bunch of other pictures I gotta find. But yeah, I'd agree with best blue. GPUs are the best to start with, but you know, whatever you can afford. I mean, you can start by flipping kits of RAM and stuff. Yeah, best blue. It was DI, Deseret Industries. That was it. It's, I don't know, it's basically Goodwill. Yeah, so it does the job. Used an old PC, but I built 10 years ago. Made a few bucks. Yeah, so Casual Tech Review started with an older PC. GPU brand, does it matter for flipping? No, just whatever works. Yeah, sorry, budget reboots. My bad. I don't know what I'm doing here, guys. I'm just kind of vibing. Alright, so this should be okay. Get this kind of out of the way. Let's cable manage this rat's nest. So I'll start with. All right, let me go grab all my zip ties, or some zip ties. All of them would be just a little bit excessive. Pull our old zip ties out of here. Okay. So, as far as cable managing goes, we have a couple of channels that we're gonna try and use. So up here, just for everything that's gonna go up top, we'll just grab a, welcome, it's Jonesy, welcome. Happy to have you here. We're gonna get all this stuff kind of zip tied together, and hopefully it'll kind of stay in the same place and look okay. Blindtech saw a 1660 Ti on Facebook for 80 bucks. He's gonna snag them tomorrow. That's a good idea. 1660 Ti's are solid cards. I actually think they're, I don't know, if you can find them for cheap, they're great cards to flip. So yeah. Chew the gum and stick the wires in it. All right. This is wild, and you guys don't need to know this, but, you know, you're here, so might as well give you guys a treat. Sometimes while flipping PCs, gum is actually a... Oh, okay. Well, now I have to say this. Gum can do some wonders for getting screws in places where you don't think it should, where you don't think you can reach. This is terrible, and I hate to admit to doing this, but if you pull a tiny bit off, stick it on the bit of your screwdriver, and you don't have a magnet, you can just stick it in, and it'll stick, and you can screw it in. And it's gross, but it does the job. I have done that before. Not recently, but it's worked. So there's that. Jonesy, how long have I been flipping? How long have I been building PCs? You just started flipping. So I got my first ever computer for free on the side of the road, and it didn't have a hard drive, SSD, or RAM, and that was in like 2017. No, like 2019. Maybe a little bit later. I don't know. Sometime around then, 2019, 2020. And I put a CPU and RAM in it, used it for a while, and then my dad gave me his old computer that had a 4th Gen i5 in it, and I gave that an RX 570, had 32 gigs of DDR3 RAM, wasn't great, but did the job, and that carried me through till 2022, yeah, 2022, and then, no, 23, and then I sold that right before I came out to college in early 23, and then I've just been using this 2015 Mac for the past while. So yeah, that's a wild take about the Gundam. I'm sorry, but you guys are here, so you guys get the special content, you know. Let's see. There's no good routing spot for this power supply cable to the motherboard. Bloody thing is so tight. Okay. So we'll just get this all plugged in and see how much of this we can get away with in there. So we're kind of out of space in the back. We don't have enough to do anything fun. So what we're gonna do now then, I guess, is just have to pull some of these cables back up front. Brian, was that a Molex connector? There is one in here. I don't know. I don't have it connected to anything because I don't need it. Yeah. So we're going to pull our motherboard and CPU cables kind of through here, see if we can't tie these up. Yeah, this case has like no space in the back for cable management. It's rough. So now I have to figure out how to deal with all of this. That is something I should have thought about before starting. So let's get this stuff as tight as we can. Like that. All of this will be fine. This is going to have to come out a little bit. Get all this shoved in as best we can. This is rough. Okay. Do I have an RGB spot? I don't have a 3-pin RGB spot? That is rough. Okay. Well, I guess no RGB for this computer then. That sucks because we have this all nicely put together and we're going to need to decable manage stuff. But we are going to get all white MZXT fans in here, so... Also not me just realizing I set this as an intake fan. Actually, that might not even be a terrible idea because we don't have proper intake and we don't have space on the bottom for intake fans. That's a weird way to do stuff, but I guess it'll work. Because yeah, heat will rise up, and if we use these top ones as exhaust, it should be fine. Man, guys, sometimes I can be kind of dumb. I should have totally checked if we had 3-pin RGB on here, and I did not. So that's fun. Welcome back, Best Blue. You missed a wild story, or didn't, I don't know. I haven't been keeping a super close eye on the chat, but if you did, sorry you missed it. Maybe go back and watch it later, but I don't know. I'm gonna keep pulling this apart. Dang guys, this sucks. So I had this all somewhat cable managed, at least this top part with our fans. And I realized that our motherboard does not have a 3-pin RGB connector, which means we gotta cut these cable ties and pull our fans out of here because they will not work with RGB in our motherboard. Brenner Tech, how do I cable manage? So cable managing sucks. I will be the first to say that. And with this PC especially, because there's not room to like stuff cables, so I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this PC kind of as we speak. But my plan is to get fans in and then just kind of route stuff as needed. So yeah, Velcro straps or zip ties. I prefer zip ties. They're way cheaper. They do kind of make a mess, but they're cheaper for customer builds. Robert, fix it exactly. You got the picture. That is how you cable manage. But yeah, if I were going to do a personal build, I would definitely want like Velcro straps or Velcro ties, I guess. But for customer builds that they aren't going to be messing around with a ton, I think zip ties do just fine. They hold stuff in place. They are technically reusable, but they're cheap enough that I don't care enough to use them a second time. So, yeah. I think you guys are going to enjoy some of the upcoming videos. I have some cool collaborations coming up. Got one with Andy Tibbs that I think you guys are going to enjoy. And then as I mentioned earlier, I have one with Budget Reboots, and I think you guys are going to like that one too. But on top of that, I've got a 1050 Ti review coming out. And my reasoning behind that, there's actually two reasons. One of them is that with all the controversy about like the PS5 Pro, I went back and looked at the PS4 Pro's launch, and turns out the PS4 Pro was also pretty expensive for the time. Started at $399, and around that time, PC components started to get cheap, and so the 1050 Ti and like a 6th gen i3 with 8 gigs of DDR4 RAM could be had for about the same price as a PS5 Pro and would perform a lot better, because turns out the GPU in the PS4 Pro was about on par with a GTX 750. And so I actually have some 6th gen i3s and 8 gigs of DDR4, along with the 1050 Ti. And so I want to do kind of a video mocking the PS5 Pro and saying that it was exactly the same with the PS4 Pro, and then do like a build that's time accurate. So yeah. And then on top of that, I have a video coming out that's going to track prices leading up to Black Friday on computer parts to see if we're getting scammed with quote-unquote deals. And yeah, I agree, for $700 you could build a PC that's really nice, and you could definitely outdo the PS5 Pro, especially because 3060s are getting like really cheap. You can find 3060s on eBay, at least in the US, for like 200-ish bucks, which is wild. Like that's starting to get to the point where those are going to be viable for flips pretty regularly. So yeah, no, I agree. And so that video about the 1050 Ti is going to kind of be mocking the PS5 Pro situation, just because it's the same thing, just 20 years, not 20 years, but you know what I mean, a bunch of years later, and almost a decade, 8 years later, 7 years later, whatever it is. So yeah. What we're going to do now is we're going to actually, this is stupid, we're going to unplug all of the cables that are attached to the power supply and only take the ones that we need, only put those in the PC, and we'll manage from there. So this Molex stuff, these are out, we don't need them. This SATA stuff, temporarily out, we may need it later for testing for a future video. So we're just going to kind of get everything out. This is officially the cable management part of the video, just so you guys know. Okay, so CPU, our fan stuff is out. We're actually going to leave our... No, we're not. We're going to unplug our motherboard power. Unplug this all the way. Okay. So now we are going to cable manage. So these are all our motherboard non-power related stuff. I think what's best for these is to route them down, and there's a little tab down here where you can throw a zip tie through, and I think we're going to zip tie these all kind of flat like so. Oh, before I forget, I have to go find a fan splitter because our motherboard does not have a ton of space for fans. Yeah, so all right, perfect. Found one. Brenner Tech used a 750 Ti, then a 1050 Ti, then a 1660 Super. Yeah, wow, that's a solid upgrade path. Brenner has lasted quite a while. So 750, 1050 Ti, 1660 Super, 6600, 6800, and then 6800 XT. Brenner, what's your favorite GPU that you've used, Ben? Just kind of curious about that. Not which is the most powerful, because I mean I think we all can agree that that's going to be whatever the newest one was. So the 6800 XT. But which has been your favorite so far? Just kind of curious about that. $7,800 XT that he sold. Fair enough. That makes sense. All right, found our fan header. This is gonna be rough. So we're gonna get this kind of casual tech review. Used an old GTX 680. Still an absolute monster. Or sorry, still has it, and it was an absolute monster back in the day. You know, fair enough. Those high-end cards, especially way back when, they were solid. Like, you could get them for relatively cheap, especially compared to modern day ultra high-end stuff. And they were solid cards, you know. Budget reboots. Have you considered not having oh wait, that wouldn't help. Never mind. No, sorry, just messing with you. Hopefully your customer can be happy. Alright, so now we got our fans all cable managed, I guess, ish. We're just gonna kind of work top to bottom here, because I think that's our best bet. Okay, come on. So we have our fan header plugged in. We have everything's plugged into the motherboard now. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of get everything routed the way it needs to be. So our CPU power is up here, and then our fan cables, along with our power cable, which leads to the back of the case to the power input. Casual Tech Review is going to be building a brand new personal PC here pretty soon. I am very supportive of that. I actually don't have a personal rig. You guys are probably going to think it's pretty funny, but I do all my editing on whatever the most powerful flip I have in the office is right now. And so, yeah, for my personal computer that I use for school and stuff, it's just this 2015 Mac that I'm reading comments on. It's not very powerful. I think it has a 5th gen i5 that's definitely older than I'd like it to be. It's only got 8 gigs of RAM. Definitely not anything crazy. And so I wish I could do a personal build pretty soon here. So, do I activate Windows for PC flips? I give the customers an option to have it activated. I don't always, because that's a way to save money, especially with budget builds. But if the hardware is used, usually you can activate it based off of the motherboard. And so there's options. But I usually don't pay for a new activation for customers. I usually find another way to activate, if that helps answer your question at all. All right, so for our motherboard 24 pin, we're going to zip tie it in down here. There we go. It's going to be facing this way. Cable management can kind of suck. This plugged in. Get this plugged in. So we're getting our fans plugged into the fan splitter that we have here. All right, so we're going to try and keep these all kind of routed up here, except for this, because this needs to go to the power supply. But these, we should be able to kind of, we'll tuck these in here for a minute. These won't stay up here. Actually, they might stay up there. We'll have to consider. I don't think they're going to. Best Blue, have a good rest of your evening. Thank you for joining us thus far. We have enjoyed having you here. All right. I think it's come to the time where we have to zip tie everything we're not doing. Take care, Budget Blue. Or, yeah, see ya. Okay. Stupid. One trick for you guys, if you're trying to use zip ties and there's a small place where you can't use it, bend the zip tie like that. It'll help you kind of be able to put it in, kind of hook, and try and get around. So we'll see if I can't do that with this. We're going to bend it a little bit tighter here. Gonna put it in, get around, try and hook it. Come on. Not quite a tight enough bend. Do that again, just kind of closer towards the tip. Just bend it. There we go. That should do it. And there we go. That's how you get these cables into these small, stupid slots that actually weren't meant for zip ties, but they will work. Yeah, real glad I could help with that thumbnail, by the way, Casual Tech Review. If you ever need help, if any of you guys need help with anything, like content creation-wise, I'm a huge proponent of everybody doing their own content. For a couple of reasons. One, a rising tide raises all ships, so the more channels that are growing, the more we're all going to grow. So huge proponent of that. And on top of that, starting a YouTube channel will be one of the most valuable experiences that I think you can have, because you learn so much. You learn so freaking much about the entire process of being creative. So yeah, definitely, if you're considering starting a channel and you want help with stuff, please feel free to DM me. I will gladly help you do whatever it takes to grow. I'll give you guys shout outs, I'll help with thumbnails and stuff, I'll give you guys input. So please, like, if you're considering that, please just do it. Like, definitely pull the trigger. So now we're getting all of our cables plugged back into the power supply. This is not the prettiest cable management, but it's functional cable management. So everything, you can kind of tell where it is. And you'll be able to adjust it as needed. Okay, come on. Come on. So that's now plugged in. It's Jonesy. I would actually recommend going for a higher end GPU if you can find one. If you can find like a 3060 or a 3070, you could probably sell that flip for like $800, and that could be a really good entry point. I know you can find 3070s for about $300 right now, so definitely consider looking into that. Okay. Guys, cable management is the worst, and I think we should abolish anybody who thinks cable management needs to happen. I think we should put them in an asylum and get them help. Because if you enjoy cable managing, you need professional. Yeah, how do you fit 75 zip ties into a build? I use probably 4 to 5. That's freaking wild. You have to be like zip tying every cable. Budget reboots, exactly. Yeah, dead on the money. It's Jonesy. Take a look at his comment just now. 3060 for $100. It's kind of hard to find deals like that, but you can still find. It's still possible to find deals, and I would highly recommend you do what you can to find one like that because it will be it'll be a game changer for your flip. All right. All these other cables, I'm gonna try and tuck them up here if I can. Jeez. Okay. Get this tucked in here. So the goal with cable management is to hide as many of the cables as you can. The less people can see, the better. It's going to look prettier. So definitely do what you can to cable manage. However, it does suck, so, you know. Come on. There we go. Okay. Come on, zip tie's stuck. You bastard. There we go. Alrighty. Yeah, it's Jonesy. You could probably get like 60 to 80 bucks for one of those. Definitely look at selling that and see if you can't get some decent money for it. Okay. Okay, so this is cable managed enough for me. I'll show you guys what we're looking at here. It's not perfect, but as long as the case closes, I will be pretty okay with that. Although I'm not sure if the case will close. So stay tuned, because that's about to happen. Oh, that's rough. Okay. Let's see. This is gonna... yeah, so that's not gonna work. I need this motherboard cable to be routed somewhere else. Ah, there we go. Okay. Get this motherboard cable kind of tucked in here. Maybe that'll be better. GPU cable's in the way. Okay, see if we can't, that might work. There we go. All right. Let's bring this guy in here. Zip tie him shut. Okay. And then let's get these GPU cable extensions stuck in here. Man, guys, I'm telling you, this build is kind of intensive. Okay, gonna make sure the case closes. Before that, though, a little trade secret. If you want to keep your cable extensions looking nice, just zip tie them to the bottom of the case here. I'll go back a little farther, just because. But zip tie them to the bottom of the case, and then snip the tail. If you do it right, they won't be able to see the zip tie, and it'll just keep things looking a lot tidier. So there we go. Those are tied down. Give that zip tie a little snip. There we go. All right, so cable extensions are zip tied down. This build is not looking bad, guys. Now it's time to see if we can get the freaking back panel to fit on. And then we'll try and boot it up. So, back panel time. Attempt 2.0. Okay. that right there. Okay, come on. Come on now. I'm gonna manhandle this. This is gonna be a little bit rough. Okay, make sure all the cables are sat inside. There we go. Press down. It's like CPR. There we go. That's oh, it was in place. We were so freaking close. Okay, there we go. Okay, give me one. Oh no! Bottom came off. Yeah, I know, ITX cable management always sucks, so this time around, I don't know. What we have is better than nothing. Come on. Okay. Now, we don't take this back panel off unless, like, something is going to explode, okay? Which is, we don't take this off ever, and we pretend that everything's always fine. And all right, so for how bad the cable management in the back looks, this really isn't bad. Blind Tech, I'm sorry. My mic is just sitting on the table. I need a new mic. So, yeah, casual tech review. I try not to be all that rough with it, but, you know, sometimes it is how it is, and I apologize for that. Do a boot test. That is the plan. Give me a second, because I do have to grab a monitor, and we'll get this booted up here in a second. Let me grab my monitor and cables and stuff, and we'll see what we got. But first, to, quote, clean off the table, and by that we really just mean throwing stuff away for us to clean up later. All right, table's cleared. Give me a moment. Let me grab the monitor and we'll get it plugged in. And then we'll get the system plugged in and then we'll test it out. All right. Now, let me make sure that you guys can see everything. All right. Now, don't do this with your SSDs. This is our work SSD. It's a 1 terabyte Kingston drive. We're not even going to screw it in. We're just going to plug it in and pray that it works for now. And screw it in, usually, but this is just for the test. And I'll see you guys in a second. All right. Our SSD is in. That's some sag on the GPU. Not the worst I've seen though. So let's get stuff plugged in. All right. So HDMI. We'll get our power cable. Chat saying anything? Best Glue, welcome back. Yeah, editing can kind of suck, so have fun with that. All right, get our power cable plugged in. Ready to boot it up. ready to boot her up. Power cable is in. Get our monitor's power cable plugged in. I dropped it. All right, monitor's plugged in. Time to grab a keyboard and a mouse. All right, got a keyboard. Let me go find my mouse. We're getting close, guys. So where did I put my friggin' mouse? Well, this is rough. Okay, error 404, mouse not found. But we do have a Wi-Fi antenna that I forgot about. So we'll get that all plugged in. Andre, sleep well. Thanks. The cheer's almost done, so have a good rest of your evening. Guys, I do not know where my freaking mouse went. I need to be more organized. I think that's what we're learning here tonight. Alright, screw it. I'm not looking for my mouse anymore. We're just gonna boot this thing up. Please don't explode. In 3, 2, 1. Nothing. Okay, we'll try our power cable. 3, 2, 1. Where's the button? Okay, no power. Why no power? Probably because something isn't quite right. Everything's plugged in. This is plugged in. Cable's plugged in. Power button. Nope. Oh. PC lit, or keyboard lit up for a second. Okay, I think we have our power button on the wrong place. Or power cable button thing, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think I had it on the reset switch. We'll try that again. There we go. We're awake. We have power. And we'll see if it boots. This thing needs a GPU bracket. Oh, and we are live. Let's freaking go. And money, we're in. Look at that. I didn't break it. We'll log in. There we go. Control, Alt, Delete. We'll get Task Manager open. There we go. Make sure everything's registering. All right. Nope. Chat, do you guys know how to control a computer without a mouse? Because we can't mouse right now. Also, this keyboard isn't actually all that clicky. You guys are just right by it. This isn't even mechanical. It's just membrane. So there's that. But we are in. If I knew where my freaking mouse was, I could show you guys our specs. I could have sworn it was like Control Shift or Control Shift, maybe Windows Control, Windows Shift. Nope, that was the wrong one. Let me find my mouse. I can't. I have to. Hold on. It might be under my freaking motherboard box over here. Nope, that's just other cables. Oh. Guys, I think I'm an idiot. I think my mouse is at my apartment. So that's on me. Yeah. All right. Well, guys, we have a computer that runs. We have no mouse because it's at my apartment. And we have a stream that is supposed to end here. Any last questions? Any last things before I end it off? Oh, budget reboots. Thank you so much. You want me to fix my cable management? I can't. There's not enough space here. Thank you so much. Fall Draco, thanks for joining last second. Do you have any questions? I do something for you. Answer any questions. Did the Cat 5 eat the mouse? No, it did not. I don't know where the mouse is. And that was a terrible joke that I only just got. Ha 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 ha. Sorry about that. Hope you have a great night, Blind Tech. Thank you for joining. Fault Draco, anything? Welcome to the stream. Sorry, it's it. Budget reboots. I would fix the cable management, but as I said, there's no space. I can maybe wiggle some stuff around, but as I said, there's not space for anything here. So, womp womp. It's Journey. I do have it's Jonesy. I do have a Discord. Actually, I will link it real quick. And you can feel free to join. Let me grab it. Give me a moment. Oh, now we're streaming the stream. Here we go. We want videos. I think this one had it linked in the description. This is ads. Fun. There we go, Discord. Let me grab the link. And here we go. Yeah, Fall Draco, just so you know, it is 9:30 p.m. here, so 21:25 for all you European viewers. Andy Tibbs, welcome. We are just finishing out the stream. Sorry about that. But yeah, you guys have a great night. Thank you guys all for watching. I appreciate it. Andy Tibbs, congratulations. All right, I will see you guys later. Let's end the stream. You guys get to see all the fun. Bye-bye.